we looked at some very interesting things surrounding third-party vendors and managing risk. And I shared with you a little earlier about the fact that some people feel that because they might not be part of a large organization, or that they're just, in their opinion, obscure or not anyone of note, they feel like they're not a target for cybersecurity attacks. And when we look at third-party risk management, anybody that's connected to a larger organization that might be a target is therefore a target by proxy. Can you talk to our audience about that and the importance of remaining cyber aware and having a cyber strategy in place despite what their position is or how big or small their company is?
Absolutely. And you have to remember, the attackers don't care how large the organization is. If they have tools out there that can scan for vulnerable networks, and if they see one that's weak or vulnerable, they're going to exploit it. They're going to target with ransomware, and it's an easy buck for them. They don't really care so much about the size of the organization. Now, there's some APTs, some high-profile APTs, who will only target large organizations, but that's a small percentage of the number of hackers that are out there. And a lot of times, when we look at supply chain risk, oftentimes it's a smaller vendor or a contractor that's targeted by attackers to then compromise a larger company. For example, the Target breach, which is a little old by now, but it's a classic example of a supply chain risk. That breach occurred because attackers targeted the HVAC vendor, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning vendor, for Target. Target had a pretty robust network security posture. They invested in cybersecurity. They had cutting-edge tools at the time, but they allowed their HVAC vendor to have a backdoor into their network. So the attackers were easily able to compromise the network from the HVAC vendor and then just use that backdoor to start stealing information. And that was a huge financial and reputational hit for Target at the time. So no matter the size of the organization, you still are vulnerable to cyber attacks. As we've seen in the recent years, the increased set of importance on CMMC guidance within the Department of Defense, for example. The Department of Defense has put forth, or have really been stressing, updated CMMC compliance using NIST 800-171 controls. And that's designed to protect the DoD against risks from contracting companies. And a lot of times hackers find that they can target federal contractors, compromise those networks, and then gain access to the much more secure federal networks through that contractor link. So that's what the CMMC compliance is designed to do. And that's one of the training offerings we offer at Cybercraft. We offer CMMC compliance. We offer CCA, certified CMMC assessor training, certified CMMC practitioner training, CCP. And we also help firms achieve that CMMC compliance, whether it's level 1, 2, or 3, whatever they're trying to achieve. So it's definitely a major concern, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely, Dennis. And thank you for going into just the case study around Target. We've seen some other instances of breaches that happen like that. And, I was associated with one particular financial institution and advised internally, consulted internally on the fact that one of their vendors had all of their leadership's information. And I said, no matter how great the cyber strategy is here internally, if this third party is ever breached, they've got everybody's information. So great point. And it shows, that's an excellent case study, how if your third party vendor is not fully secure, or if they are a weak link or have a weak link in their chain, it compromises everybody involved. So